home, flags were flown at half-mast at the British High Commission in Pretoria and the Consulate in Cape Town. Condolence books will be available at both locations for those wanting to pay tribute. Let's hear now from Antony Phillipson, who is the British High Commissioner to South Africa. Thank you very much, Commissioner Phillipson, for speaking to us. And firstly, our condolences. Not having an overarching monarchy in South Africa, it's very difficult for us to understand the incredible reverence that Britons have for Queen Elizabeth. And you had personal interactions with her. So how has the passing of the Queen affected you personally?
Well, thank you very much indeed for having me on to talk about it. It's an incredibly significant moment, I think, for the people of the United Kingdom and indeed the people of the Commonwealth and many, many people that she touched around the world. I have spent my whole professional life as what I call a Crown civil servant, and I've been very proud to call myself that. And I've also had the privilege of meeting Her Majesty on a number of occasions, including before I went off as High Commissioner in Singapore. We also hosted a state visit by the President of Singapore, but actually my earliest memory of meeting her was when I was a child living in Abu Dhabi, and she visited there and she visited the school I was at. So 6 years old was the first time I met her. So she's been a constant in my professional life and a very big presence, like so many across the world, in my personal life. So this is a really quite extraordinary moment.
And for many Britons living in South Africa, it's going to be equally a momentous occasion. Is there going to be any special commemorative event? Or we know you've got condolence books where the public can go and sign and pay their respects to the Queen. But are there any other events planned to commemorate her life and service?
So I think we will be focusing on encouraging people and allowing people to take part in the events in the UK. As you say, we have the condolence books here at the residence in Pretoria and at the residence in Cape Town. There's also an online condolence book where people can leave messages directly with the Royal Family website. We're sort of thinking this through. I mean, although it happened sort of suddenly yesterday, we're just thinking through the implications of that and what we might do to commemorate her life, commemorate her 70 years on the throne, and indeed her lifetime of public service. And I pointed out to a few people today that she dedicated her life to the public service of the people of the Commonwealth at City Hall in Cape Town on her 21st birthday. So I think that's a testament to her links to this country. But we'll be thinking through how we allow people to feel that they can express their gratitude for her service, their sadness on her passing in the best possible way.
So you described yourself a little earlier as a servant of the Crown. You were a servant of the Queen, and now you're serving here in South Africa under King Charles, who's the head of the Commonwealth. Do you expect any changes to those Commonwealth relationships?
So I think actually I would point to His Majesty's own words. The Commonwealth is a community of nations, it's a community of people. All of those nations have their own priorities, they have their own constitutional makeup. But what binds us is our values, our belief in democracy and freedom of speech and liberty. And what especially binds us is the network of peoples across the Commonwealth. And he believes passionately in that and has said so many times. He has his own personal priorities that he's expressed many times, his commitment to the environment, his commitment to youth development through the Prince's Trust. I'm sure we will see those coming through. But I think there will be a sense of continuity as well, in the sense of the role that the monarchy plays within the Commonwealth, and as I say, driving that sense of discussion, connecting people around the world, creating opportunity, hope and prosperity and security for the peoples of the Commonwealth going forward.
Are you planning to travel to the UK to take part in the funeral ceremonies there?
I will not. Actually, I was in the UK yesterday. I had been back in the UK for some calls in London and was planning on spending actually, I wasn't meant to come back until next Wednesday, but when the news broke yesterday lunchtime that Her Majesty's doctors had placed her under medical supervision, I thought the place to be was back here, actually, in South Africa. So I flew back last night. But no, I won't be going back for the state funeral. Actually, one significant event that will happen tomorrow will be the formal proclamation of the fact that His Majesty is now King Charles III. He assumed that title immediately on the death of his mother. But there'll be a formal moment tomorrow, and I believe that is something that will include, for example, the High Commissioners from all the Commonwealth nations, including, of course, South Africa. So that will be a big moment in London, but that will be broadcast around the world. But no, I will be watching that from here.
And part of your role here, unfortunately, is to respond to some of the criticism. Overwhelmingly, world leaders and many political parties here in South Africa have paid their condolences and their respects to the royal family, saluting the Queen for a life of service, dignified service. However, the EFF have come out with harsh criticism. I'm sure you would have read that. It doesn't bear repeating. What's your response?
So I think my role here is to think about how we maintain the relationship between the UK and South Africa going forward. There are many, many historical ties that bind us, but we also have, a history that has had some moments that we need to understand and accept and move forward on the basis of. I think now is a moment actually to commemorate Her Majesty's service, to pause to reflect on that service and to celebrate her life. But then we will build on that. I put out a statement earlier today saying I'm absolutely sure that His Majesty will want to continue to build on his relationship with South Africa, building on the foundations of the relationship set by Her late Majesty the Queen. We should always accept that there will be issues that people want to debate with us, and I am very happy to debate those with people as we think about building the future relationship between the United Kingdom and South Africa. It's a long, storied relationship already, but we should be looking forward to the future.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. That was Antony Phillipson, British High Commissioner to South Africa, reflecting on the life and service and his relationship with Queen Elizabeth II.